Sensational Saturday. Welcome, welcome, welcome once again to another edition of the D Word. This is your host, Furley Almonte. My co-host, Carolina Danhard, actually was not able to join us today. She really wanted to very, very much, but she had an emergency case that she needed to work on. So she's helping people out there. You know, Carolina Danhard is actually a family law international law and a divorce attorney, and she is really very knowledgeable in ways you can imagine in helping people. And she's available also for how do you call it, telejustice. So being able to confer with her even online. So right now she was called upon to serve, and so tomorrow we're going to do a special broadcast once again with our special guest. Well, today is also very special because just last month was Pride Month, and I am part of the LGBT community, a very loud and proud. And my guest today, actually, I met a few years ago at a networking event for the NJ LGBT Chamber of Commerce. It was a breakfast meeting that changed my life because I met the most incredible people in there. And of course, one of them was the speaker, Joseph Renga. And he is the president of the NJ LGBT Chamber of Commerce. He is also a board member, and he is multi-talented in ways you cannot even imagine, because it's very hard to nail him for an interview because he is sought after in his field of expertise, and we'll get the chance to get to know him. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome the New Jersey Chamber of Commerce President Joseph Renga. Hi, Joe.
Hello, Furley. Thank you for having me here today.
Oh, looking good there. I miss you so very much.
I know, it's been so long.
I know, like, it's so funny because I really miss our NJ LGBT chamber networking events, because we used to be able to go to different places to be able to meet new members, attract new members. And so what have you been doing during this pandemic?
Well, we immediately went virtual, and we do virtual events, virtual meetings every week. We typically do one on Thursday nights after an after work kind of virtual happy hour. And we've just instituted a morning meeting for coffee and a breakfast meeting to network and meet people and just talk about what people are going through. And then every other week, we do a Tuesday afternoon virtual webinar that has a particular topic of interest to small business owners, business people, how to develop new skill sets, how to conduct business or change your business during this whole pandemic.
Wow. Now, you mentioned what to discuss what people are going through. What are people in our community going through right now?
I think from what I'm hearing is really pretty much what everyone's going through. You know, as a Chamber of Commerce, we're predisposed to talk about business. And so that's what we really discuss mostly is, how has the pandemic affected people's business? Some people are not really that affected by it. They're people who already work from home, let's say, and had clients remotely, so that's really kind of not unaffected. I can't think of anyone of our business, with the exception of one that is a brick and mortar business. So we don't have any business people who are restaurant owners or bar owners or anything like that where they can't get clients in. Most of them are service people, lawyers, architects, CPAs, and they're still doing business as they normally would do, kind of like remotely, having documents sent to them and executing things, as they need to. So, but it is tough for everyone. It's tough when you can't interact in person. You do feel it as a human being, that human connection. Virtual is nice and it gets the job done, but it's not like being in the same room and across from a table.
Oh, tell me about it. You know my personality. I'm really like, yes. I'm a huggy person, yes. Very vibrant, and I love human interaction, and
yes.
I really miss being part of our group because like one thing I love about the LGBT community is that we're very vibrant people. There's something just really awesome about the energy. Whether you're straight or gay, it's really wonderful to be around people who actually have great values that you connect with, and also the fact that you are in there sharing one shared vision. And before we go to further into the NJ LGBT Chamber of Commerce, I'd love to know, I know that you had mentioned that you're also very busy in your own business. What exactly do you do aside from being the president of the chamber?
Well, thank you for asking. And my business that I'm in the telecommunications business, and I sell, install, support, and maintain and oversee billing for anything to do with telecommunication services, whether it's regular dial tone to data networks, internet access, cloud storage, anything like that. And again, I'm one of those businesses that's partially half affected. I still have my current clients that I do work for on a regular basis, and all of that has always been remote. I don't have to see clients in person, really. I mean, seeing clients was like a 2-3 times, maybe 4 times a year thing, just to, get out there and say hello and do that in-person thing. So the day-to-day management of existing clients really hasn't changed. And being in telecommunications, we always did things virtually for the past 20 years. So everyone in that field is used to that. So that was not a big change. But trying to get new clients is really tough. It's hard to get in touch with people when everyone's working remotely. People, the work level isn't as high as it normally is when you were going to an office every day. So it's hard to get in touch with people to talk about new people. That's what's really tough about it. So sourcing new business is really the thing that I've seen that has affected myself and other members of the chamber. It's about sourcing new business. Existing clients, you've got that relationship. You can do it over the phone or over virtual means, as best as you can, and that's okay because the relationship is established. But getting that new client's been really tough. It's been really tough.
Well, thank you for sharing that. That's why we are part of a group that actually like to support one another. And actually, Christine and I actually, we actually been blessed with the best that we can now work from home, and we're actually ecstatic because we have grown so much in business during pandemic, because now we're able to do things virtually, and we are also providing living benefits, which is really very relevant to people now who have been awakened that anything could happen in our lives because of, look at what happened with COVID, right?
That's right.
So people are a lot more open to understanding new ways to protect themselves. And now let's talk about the NJLGBT Chamber, right? Okay. So many people do not understand, why would somebody join our chamber as opposed to a regular chamber from their town? What makes us different?
Well, clearly what makes us different in terms of how we function, we're a chamber of commerce like every other chamber. And we do all the same things. However, the identification is who you are as an individual. And if you identify as being a member of the LGBT community or our allies, it's just you have another connection on a different level that sometimes you might not feel when you're discussing business, or not that I ever bring my sexuality into business. That would not make any sense. But it's nice. It's just interesting to know, because then it also becomes a social thing. As you know, living here in New Jersey, there are not many, if any, places to go that are LGBT owned, that are like bars or restaurants where you could walk into a room and the crowd all has something in common, where you can relate in a way as a human being, business aside. So a lot of our events, as you know, really turn into social events in addition to being business related social events. And so people join the chamber for that. They want to meet other LGBT business people, because it also gives us the opportunity of spending our money within the community and supporting other people who are small businesses, and then have that second identification of being a member of our LGBT community as well. So it opens up a lot of opportunities that you wouldn't normally recognize, because as you know, if I'm an architect or I'm in telecommunications, I don't hang an LGBT flag anywhere or put it up in my office. It's not necessary. It's not needed. It's not pertinent to telecommunications, and so we don't see that. Like if we were in Manhattan, you see rainbow flags in windows, and you know exactly which are the LGBT-owned businesses, which ones are allied businesses. And in New Jersey, we just don't do that in the suburbs, And in many ways, there's no need for it. But at least now you can identify people and say, I can keep my money in the community and make friends as well.
Now, one of the things that I remember very, very well during your presentation when we first met is that you spoke about diversity and inclusion, and how we are able to, in the chamber, be able to access opportunities to be considered in corporations, big corporations, that we otherwise won't be able to. Tell us more about that.
Well, a big part of what the chamber does is get LGBT-owned businesses certified like other minority-owned businesses. And there's a number of ways to get certified. You could be certified, and maybe you are, as a woman-owned business, in addition to wanting to be certified as an LGBT-owned business. When people think LGBT or LGBT community or LGBT issues, the last thing people think of is a business community. It just doesn't come up. We think social issues, we think sexual identification. We don't think business, but there isn't, LGBT people are in business, and we are a minority group. And so to take the advantage of the commitment that Fortune 1000 companies and state, local, county level and state governments have committed to supporting minority-owned small businesses, when we qualify for that, we have now that avenue of possibly a larger account getting into a corporation, which could be much more steady work and much more steady client relationship than another small business. So it's one of the things we do is we get people certified if they want to be certified as an LGBT-owned business, and then we show them the path to the procurement process of Fortune 1000 companies. And we get them in touch with the people they need to be in touch with to get registered, to get on lists, to get information about RFPs that are coming up or other documents where there's a possible bid going on. And we teach people how to do that.
So walk us through the process of getting certified.
Getting certified is really an easy process. There's some paperwork to fill out. Business paperwork, typically, your company identification, some tax identification to prove that you are a functioning legal business, and then you do an interview. If you have a brick and mortar location, an office, it'll be an in-person interview to see the office, so someone could say, "Yep, it's actually a business here. Here's the sign on the door." But if you work from home, then it's just it could be an in-home visit, or it could be a visit somewhere else where you really talk about your business and explain it. So let's say, not that anyone would, but you can't fake it. If you're in a particular type of business, you know how it works. You can explain your industry and sort of validate yourself as, yes, this person is in business. You can see it. They understand what they're talking about. They can describe their business, and then they're certified. And certification happens out of the national office, the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce, also known as NGLCC. They're based in Washington, D.C. They actually do the certifications. We just assist with it because we're here in New Jersey. So we assist with the New Jersey applicants in terms of doing that in-person visit. Then once someone is certified, we go about getting them into the corporations that are based here in New Jersey and making those Jersey contacts for them, because that's really what a chamber should be doing, is showing them the path. Being certified is great, but unless you know what to do with the certification and who to talk to and who to meet, you're kind of lost and out there on your own. So we stop people from feeling like they're an island somewhere. And we say, okay, this is who you need to speak with. We can make an introduction. We could show you how to get into the procurement stream. And then we invite corporations in. I'm working on a few events coming up in August and September, where corporations will come in and explain to people, this is how you get into our procurement stream. And then we'll also do an upcoming event will be a pitch contest, where our certified businesses will have an opportunity to actually pitch to Fortune 1000 companies, to the purchasing managers, their business and what they do. And then they'll get critiqued back from these purchasing managers on how good the pitch is.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. I myself is interested in that, because well, I didn't know that, that is in the pipeline. Actually, yep. By the way, I'm very excited that I have been also, I'm now going to be an NJ LGBT Chamber of Commerce ambassador. So I should learn about all of these things, because this could change many lives. You have to be part of the LGBT community, or do you can be straight and be part of the chamber?
You can absolutely be straight and be part of the chamber. In fact, a few of our members, I think 2 or 3 are straight people who join the chamber, one, because, as you know, we're a fun crowd. And they also understand that the LGBT marketplace is quite lucrative. The LGBT, just a few statistics, I love throwing out statistics.
Please do.
The LGBT household has 23% more disposable income than the straight household. We go on more vacations. We buy a new car sooner than a straight household does. And it's just because of our economic situation, insofar as most of the time we don't have children. So that expense is completely gone. And so we have that money of a 2-income household, or even if you live alone, a 1-income household, where you can devote, again, if you're not partnered or married, you can devote time to your business and to your career. We tend to get up higher faster in corporations because we do have more time to devote to working and being more productive. And of course, that means more income. And so we do have a bigger spend than a straight household. The LGBT community nationwide, I believe, has a spend of well over $1 billion a year. I don't have the exact number in my head. It's well over $1 billion a year. And so no one ever thinks of that, and except a few smart people who do. And they think, well, that's another, a possible new client. And so they join our, they show their commitment, which is really good. They just don't show up for our events because, anyone can come to our events who wants to, but they actually pay the dues money. They become dues paying members, which is a great sign of commitment from your allies, because they're putting the money out to say, I like it enough where I'm committed to it by giving you my dollars. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, I love it. My goodness. First of all, I'm blown away by the statistics. And now that I think about it after you've provided your wise insights, is that, okay, that makes a lot of sense while we have more time and money freedom, right?
Yeah.
To be able to do that. Now, how do we support those people who may be experiencing, actually, I wish Carolina was here, but I'm sure we could talk about that tomorrow, who may be experiencing, discrimination in the workplace because of their sexuality?
Well,
support them?
Well, supporting them is the way the chamber can support that is when we are approached fairly often and often enough with making us, we're aware of what's going on politically, the bills that are up for a vote, the court cases that go on. Our national chapter does a lot of lobby work and a lot of political work, and they keep us aware of what's going on in New Jersey. We're closely allied with other organizations like Garden State Equality, Human Rights Campaign, who also keep us aware of what's going on. And when they need our support, we're there for them. On an individual basis, we do have people, a lot of people see the Chamber of Commerce as a resource for finding the help that you need for something. So we will get called from people, and it's happened to me. I've gotten the calls directly from people who have said, someone called me last year and said, can you refer me to a lawyer? At least this happens at least 3 times since I've been president, where they feel they're being discriminated at work. And because we're a chamber, because we know a lot of people, because it is about networking, that I could refer 3 or 4 lawyers and say, contact any one of these people, use my name as a referral. They'll know who you are, and they'll know who I am. And then, of course, I also let the lawyers know I just referred you out to a person named so-and-so. You may be getting a call. So what we really can do is, because, we have a business directory on our website, and you can go there and just look up by category and find the person you need. So if you need a lawyer, if you need an accountant, if you need a dentist, and you want them to be in the LGBT community, you can find it at our website, or you just call us and we source it for you. Because we know a lot of people, and you can just off the top of our head, we can refer people.
Who usually handles this? You're a very busy person. Who actually do we call?
Well, we have a phone number on our website. I don't know it off the top of our head, but it is on our website, which is njlgbtchamber.org. Have to plug that. And also you can email us at info@, and that email goes to all of the board members. We're a working board. We don't have a staff. We're a working board. And so anytime someone emails us to our general email account, our info@ account, we all get it, and one of us just immediately jumps on it because we all see the email at the same time, and we all hear the phone. We have a Google number, and so what you typically get is a voicemail. You get to leave a voicemail message that gets forwarded to us through technology, through telecom. It gets forwarded to us as an email, and one of us calls the person back, usually within 24 hours. And most of the time, I kind of scare people because I'm always in front of my computer, so I call them right back in 2 minutes, and people are like, "Oh, I just left that message." I'm like, "Yeah, I saw you coming in." So.
Yeah, I know that.
On it.
Actually, among the many text messages and the phone calls that you get, right? Like,
oh yeah.
Now, actually, I want you to repeat the website and also the email address, because I'm sure a lot of people, whether straight or gay, that's business owner, would love to be able to plug into our chamber to be able to access those opportunities that we otherwise would not know even how to navigate. So please share the website and your email again, please.
Our website is www.njlgbtchamber.org, and our email address is info@ njlgbtchamber.org, or you can email me directly at joseph@njlgbtchamber.org, and we will get those communications, and we respond really quickly to people, usually same day.
Yeah.
Particularly
Well,
if it's someone who needs something, as opposed to just general information.
yeah, especially if they're really feeling stressed and would like to reach an attorney. Actually, that's why I wish Carolina was here. But you'll talk to her tomorrow because she would like to talk about how international law pertains to same-sex couples, and also business owners, because obviously not everyone, not every country acknowledges us, right?
Mhm.
And so that's something that will be addressed tomorrow as well. Now, actually, I'd love to also know, you piqued my interest, and I'm sure a lot of people would be interested in the pitch contest. Tell us how that's going. Is that going to be a live event or a virtual event?
It will be a virtual event. We'd love it to be live, and if we could have, it would have been a live event, because there's nothing like being in person. But it is a virtual event, and I will say the reason we decided to do it was because the company, I won't give the company name out, it's a Fortune 1000 company, they came to me and said, what can we do? We want your people to know. I've been contacted 3 times in the past 2 weeks from Fortune 1000 companies saying, how do we get in touch with your LGBT certified business owners? So they're asking for it. And so I had to develop something where we can get our people in front of these companies because the companies want it. It's not like they're doing it to say, oh, we do it. They actually do want to give money to the community and to support small businesses. I have to say that's one thing I have noticed throughout this whole pandemic is these large corporations do want to reach out in many ways and help support small businesses. So I can see it. I don't hear it too much on the news myself, but I do see it from day to day from the interactions I'm personally getting that are being initiated by these large companies. They're not being initiated by me. They're just coming to us and say, hey, how do we get your people to understand they need to get into our procurement stream?
Wow, wow, wow. Actually, just last weekend, I interviewed a lady who specializes in corporate sponsorships. And she was saying that, all obviously corporations are looking to have an impact in the community, be able to have more visibility, be able to service the people that work for them as well. And so, being able to even tie those things together would be very meaningful and give them goodwill, great marketing campaign, and at the same time bring value to the community and to the employees. Now, when somebody is interested to join this pitch contest, they would just send you an email, yes?
Yeah, well, we'll announce it, and we'll be promoting it for probably 4 weeks, and anyone can be a part of it to observe, to be an attendee. But the actual pitching will only be for people who are certified LGBT-owned businesses, because they're the ones who can get into the procurement stream. Because when you're looking to do business with a Fortune 1000 company or any company that wants to give a portion of their spend to a minority, any minority-owned business, you typically go to their website. You have to register. You register your number, your certification number. Some even want you to upload a certificate. So only the people who are certified in any given field can really, there wouldn't be a point for anyone who's not certified to be joining a pitch contest, because even if they were great at it, they wouldn't be, unless they're certified, they wouldn't be able to do business with the company anyway. So, but it's good for everyone to watch and to hear the feedback from the corporation saying, this was good, you might want to work on that part of your business, or this, you didn't touch on something that really is of interest to us. Be aware of that, and that kind of a feedback.
Yeah. Now, actually, I would love to hear from you during this pitch contest. What are the elements that the corporations are looking for that we need to include on our pitch to be able to be magnetized, for us to be magnetic, actually, to the corporate decision makers?
My advice, every corporation is a little bit different, but my advice to people would be, first of all, keep it concise, and really understand what's great about your business. A lot of people, when you say, well, tell me about your business, they kind of physically go down all the things that they can do, as opposed to why you would do business with me. Because at the end of the day, it is about you personally. I mean, that's what people buy from. It's about the relationship you can build, or the relationship that you can project will happen in that 5-minute pitch to someone who's never met you before. So it isn't about we do this, and check off all these boxes. It's about this is how we serve you. And these are the things this is the way we serve you, not what we do, but how we do it. And it makes it more real for the corporation. But specifically what each of them individually looks for, that's what the contest is about, because they're going to tell us.
It's so funny. Like, I'm smiling because I remember the time that I actually participated in a pitch contest. It was like a mini Shark tank, so to speak.
Yeah,
it was New York City, and I was actually sharing my jewelry design, which was it's exquisite and very, very unique. But we had to pitch 3 different times. One was for the investor, one was for the buyers, and one was for the media. And I actually got featured as the one with the most unconventional tagline. The cool part about this is that your message needs to be different depending on who the listener is. So what you have just shared with us on how to keep it tight, so that you know that this is the reason why you want to work with me. This is the value that I will bring to your corporation. And the clearer and tighter we are in being able to communicate that, we have a better chance, obviously, of being able to get that procurement, right?
Yes, and you also said a key word: uniqueness. What separates you from everybody else? I mean, I'm in telecommunications business. Well, so are a lot of people. There are thousands. Why do business with me? That's what you have to define for yourself. What am I going to do different than anybody else that you would really benefit from? So yes, uniqueness is a really important thing to make sure you think about that and put that in your pitch and make it come out.
Joe, what makes your business unique? Why you?
Why me? What makes my business unique, and what makes me unique from everyone else, with the exception of, and I can tell you, with the exception of 4 other people, I've been in my business for 35 years in this industry, and I've only met 4 other people who do business the way I do. And that is, I know every aspect of how a communications company runs. And by that, I mean, I just don't understand technology. I just don't know my one product. I know how products are provisioned. I know how service is deployed. I could talk to technicians and engineers. I understand billing as a theory and how telecommunications companies bill. The advantage to that is I can problem solve much quicker than anybody else, because I know exactly who to go to in what department, as opposed to calling a toll-free number and opening up the dreaded ticket and waiting for someone to get back to me. I don't wait for anybody to get back to me. I'm proactive for my customers. So that's why I'm unique.
First of all, you said 35 years in the business. I'm looking at you like, at what age did you start?
Yeah, well, by the gray hair, you can tell what age I started at.
So many people can have gray hair even in their 20s. But what I'm saying is that you've always looked very youthful. So when you said 35, I was looking at you like, hell no. But one of the things that you actually said, if anything, the most impactful thing that you said to me about your business being very unique is that you are a problem solver, you're a troubleshooter, and you don't have, because your knowledge is so extensive that you'll be able to, it's almost like an umbrella. You encompass every single nook and cranny, that all the moving parts you understand, that why how it works. And for you, that level of excellence is actually comes far in between. And so actually, why don't you share with the people where they can contact you in case of they need any support in telecommunication while you're here?
Oh, they can contact me at, I have a number of different companies. They can contact me. The best way is at my personal email address, which is Joseph Renga. So it's Joseph, RENGA, at me.com. M is in Michael, E is in Edward.com. It's a Mac address. So Joseph Renga at me.com.
That is awesome. Any last words, any wise words that you just want to share? Not for everyone. It doesn't have to be any LGBT or say LGBTQS people out there. Just any words of wisdom that you would like to share with our audience before you go.
I would like to share everyone that being in quarantine has been tough for everyone because it makes you feel like you're alone. Get out there. If you can go to an in-person event for those organizations or people who are having them, that's great. Be careful. If you can't, get on a virtual event. Just the human interaction, talking, complaining, moaning about something, or throwing ideas out about things, it just lifts the spirits. I can tell you, when we do our virtual events, I am so psyched as soon as the event ends. It's so motivational just because you got to talk to people. So we can't lose the human interaction. In any way you can get it, do it. The first thing I did when this pandemic started, I called old friends that I hadn't spoken to in a long time just to say hello, because now I had the luxury of time. There was nothing to do but sit home and figure out what the heck is going on. So I just started calling old friends, and it was great. I ended up doing virtual calls with them. It was great. And that just lifts your spirits, that human interaction. So get out there and speak with people in any way, shape, or form you can.
Yes, reach out and touch virtually. You know,
that's right.
And you don't even have to wear a mask.
That's right. That's right.
That's cool.
You get to show your face.
Yeah, that is absolutely phenomenal. And in my case as well, I actually were given also just the luxury of time, and so I reach out to people. They're actually very thrilled to hear from us now, because everybody are forced to stay at home, and I'm sure they're very delighted to hear from you and reconnect, and basically know that somebody cares. There is something just truly magical about being able to connect. And of course, and with Zoom, when you can see people as well, even in their own home. However, it could be their bad hair day, no frills. It's so cool because you get to know them on a more personal level, more intimate level. So thank you so very much for your time, for sharing all the wisdom that you have on, like not only with the NJ LGBT community, how you can plug into the diversity and inclusion, how you can be a member and be able to access places that you have never even imagined that you can get into, how you can be heard, how you can connect. Joe, you are a wealth of wisdom and also such an amazing friend to be around, and I am very thrilled to be a part of the community. I can't wait to be the ambassador so I can talk about how amazing being part of our group is, and I am looking forward to our next networking event. Please tell us. I know you have something coming up in August and September.
Yeah, well, the next networking event is our first in-person event. We're putting our toe in the water to see how people like it. It will be in Asbury Park at the Empress Hotel on July 29th from 6 to 9 o'clock. That's next Wednesday, I believe. Yeah.
That's awesome. Like we will practice social distancing. Make sure you bring your mask. Yeah.
Mask, social distancing. Yep. Everything.
Okay, so mark it down, July 29th. What day is that?
It's Wednesday, I believe.
It's a Wednesday. So mark it down, July 29th at the Empress Hotel in Asbury Park. And I hope that we can get to see each other. And I plan to be there. Definitely. Great. Joe, thank you so very much. I am so thrilled that you were able to share your beautiful, vibrant energy and handsomeness here. And also, and tomorrow we're going to have a different spin on this conversation on the LGBT community. Same time, 11 o'clock. This time we're going to be joined by Carolina Denhard. She is an attorney, and so we're talking more about the legal issues. Okay. Until then, stay well, stay healthy, and be grateful all the time. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.